Hi everyone, it's Lynnea from LDRS Creative, and today's video is all about no-line watercoloring. I'm going to be using the Watercolor Effects Floral Stamps, and this is actually two stamp sets. It's a 6x8 plus a 4x6 stamp set. And on the back of your packaging, you're going to find a layering guide that shows you exactly which pieces you need to layer up your little boards, your pots, and your flowers to create gorgeous floral scenes. I'm starting with a piece of LDRS Creative watercolor paper, and I've placed that in my stamping platform. You don't have to use a stamping platform. You can use an acrylic block and stamp. I just prefer to use a stamping platform. I'm going to be putting my flowers in this particular flower pot, so I've grabbed the outline layer. Remember to use the reverse side of your packaging so that you know which layers go together. For my ink, I'm going to be using water-based markers. I'm going to be adding some water after my scene is stamped to kind of create that faux watercolor no-line effect. So I want to use a water-based ink. You can use a water-based ink pad if you want. I just happen to use these watercolor brush markers. So to do this, I'm grabbing this stamp, and then I'm going to add color using the side of the brush. I don't want to damage the tip of my watercolor brush, so I am holding it at an angle and only using the side of the brush. That way I don't damage the marker. I'm layering up all the layers for the pot, so you saw me do the outline, and then the inside has 2 layers. And I just use shades of blue. This last inside layer, I need it to be dark, but I didn't want to go too dark. So I grabbed a marker, colored it on, and then I dabbed some off with my towel. Now it's time to fill up this pot with all kinds of flowers. So again, I'm using that guide on the reverse side of my packaging to know which pieces go with which flowers, and I'm using different shades of green for the stems, and I'm keeping my flowers to be shades of magenta and purple. So I started by using my light green marker, and I inked up the stems, and then I used purple on the big bushy flowers, and then I have a different shade of green for this tall stem, shade of magenta for the flowers, and yet another color of green. You don't have to use different greens, I just wanted to, but you could use the same green and ink it up multiple times so that you get a deeper saturation of the same color, or even just keep it the same green all the way across. It does not matter. So here's my filled up flower pot, and now comes the fun no-line watercolor effect. I have just some clean, clear water in my watercolor brush. You can use a regular brush with a pot of water if you wanted to. I just happen to like these water brushes. I think that they work well for this technique especially. I'm just going to start with one color. I'm starting with the blues on the pot, and I'm going over that and blending those colors together. And then I even pulled some of that color out to create a shadow. From there, I'm just taking little dots of the water and dotting over the flowers. So you can see here I'm taking those purple flowers and just adding little dots of water, and that's going to get that color moving and create that no-line watercolor effect. I have my towel there so that I can wipe off my brush in between colors, especially since green and purple doesn't really mix. Once that's done, I cut it out with a circle, and here is my finished panel. I have some other pieces that I'm going to use to create my card. I've stamped a sentiment, and I cut that out on a strip of white cardstock. And then I also have a card, it's a purple card base, and then I use the Modern Geometric Cover Plate 2. Cut that out of white cardstock just for texture in the background. Nothing really too fancy happening in the background. I wanted the focus to be on this faux no-line watercolor effect. And here is my finished card. It's super easy. I absolutely love these stamps. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye!